I've been married for 8 years, and I have 2 daughters. The elder is 3 years old, and the younger is 4 months. The story is quite simple. In 2015, my husband got a job where most of the colleagues were women. One of these women, also married with 2 children, started communicating with him just as a colleague. Then, at some event, I met her, our children played together, and nothing seemed suspicious. We occasionally went out for picnics as families, our kids played together, and we chatted. We crossed paths now and then, and they visited our home, as we did theirs. But over the last year, we stopped meeting up as families, although my husband mentioned how she and her family were doing. A year ago, I got pregnant. The pregnancy was planned and desired by both of us. That's when their affair began. The pregnancy was normal, but there was almost no intimacy, as it was prohibited in the beginning and at the end of the pregnancy. I already felt his detachment then. The tenderness and caresses were gone. He didn't touch my belly. Now he explains this by feeling guilty. I found out everything through their messages and the photos she sent him, topless. I packed my husband's bags and told him to leave. He begged for forgiveness, was on his knees, and said he missed my attention. He stayed at a friend's house for a few days, came over daily, we talked, and he asked for another chance. He insists that it was just sex, Lust, and he was the initiator. He said she was always there, and it was easier than looking elsewhere. Now I've given him another chance because I realize I love him and don't want to lose him. He takes care of us. He says he loves me. He understood and realized everything almost at the moment he saw his bags at the doorstep. I gave him a basic phone without internet. He comes home for lunch. Even in terms of sex, it's all good. There's passion and desire from both sides. But there's a big but. They continue to work together in the same office, and I don't really know what their relationship is like now. And I feel uneasy, wishing to wake up in the morning and realize it was all a dream, that my perfect husband couldn't have done this to me. How do I live with these thoughts and feelings? What should I expect? I'd also like to hear an outside opinion. After sharing my story, I was enveloped by the warmth and concern of friends and family, each one offering their piece of advice, stories of their own, and perspectives that mirrored a kaleidoscope of human emotion and wisdom. A friend pointed out the harsh reality of betrayal, forcing me to confront the physical act of infidelity I had tried to block out. Her words painted a vivid contrast between my dreams of a happy family and the stark reality of my husband's actions, reminding me that respect and fidelity are choices. During a family gathering, a cousin lightly scoffed at the idea of sudden realizations of guilt, casting doubt on the genuineness of my husband's remorse. It made me wonder about the true depth of his understanding and regret. Over coffee, a colleague who had been through a similar ordeal stressed the unbearable tension of continuing to work with the person involved in the affair. She firmly believed that for real forgiveness and healing, one of them had to make the hard choice of leaving the job. A close friend shared her own story of betrayal and the long, painful road to forgiveness. She emphasized focusing on self-love and the importance of making decisions for one's own well-being, suggesting that changing the environment might help, but it has to come from a place of genuine desire to mend the breach. An old school friend reached out after hearing about my situation. She spoke of her journey through the devastation of her partner's infidelity, finding strength in solidarity with others who had faced similar betrayals, and the transformative power of redirecting love and attention towards oneself. The idea of informing the other woman's husband came up during a discussion with my sister, viewing it as a step towards accountability and perhaps a way to prevent future indiscretions. This advice underscored the far-reaching impact of infidelity. Lastly, my mother, with a sigh, mused on the difficulty of truly moving past such a betrayal. She hinted at a lurking desire for vengeance that might poison any attempt at reconciliation, no matter how sincere. Each of these conversations with friends and family has woven a rich tapestry of empathy, advice, and shared pain, guiding me through this tumultuous period. As I contemplate the road ahead, their collective wisdom and experiences act as a beacon, illuminating the path towards healing, whether it leads me back to my husband or on a new journey alone. Their support and insights have fortified me, reminding me that whatever decision I make, I'm not walking this path alone.